Hey guys, Joe from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, July 18th, 2014, and we're about to have another cool eBay discussion. Today we're basically going to discuss some summer doldrums regarding both eBay and YouTube. Let's start out, if I may, with YouTube, because this is something that also affects all of us. A lot of you guys are having trouble communicating with each other, with me, as I have with a few of you. YouTube has once again screwed up its inbox and its method of communication. Should you want to communicate with me, there are two ways. Number one, if you go to my channel and just click on the About tab and then click on Send Message, you can send me a PM. However, if you want to respond to a PM that someone else has sent you, you have to go into your inbox, click on Messages, and then click on Reply from there. Now, one problem I've come upon this week, and it's the first time I've ever seen this on YouTube, maybe one of you guys can help me out and tell me what's going on. Somebody last week made a comment on one of my videos, and I wanted to respond to that person with a PM. So I went to their channel, I clicked on About, and there was no send message box for that particular person. Now, they were linked to Google Plus, so it wasn't that. I'm wondering, and it was a fairly new person who had very little information up on their channel. Can anybody tell me why only a few YouTube users do not have the send message button when you click on the About tab? I want to know if these are people that have set their YouTube channels to private, that nobody can message them back. Because one of you guys, if you're wondering why I never messaged you back, it's because you don't have the send message tab. So check your settings. If anybody has any information on that, please comment below. Let us now get into eBay. Several weeks ago I made a video called The Following on eBay, where we all began to follow each other. And it has been a resounding success. At this time, I myself have approximately 247 followers, thanks to you guys. A lot of you guys have written to me this last week asking for me to follow you, and I would gladly do that. However, eBay imposes a moratorium. Once you hit a certain amount of people, once you follow a certain amount, they lock you up and they won't let you follow anymore. However, one of you guys told me that after they lock you up for 2 or 3 weeks, they let you follow more people again. As soon as I'm unlocked, I will follow the rest of you, so don't you worry. But if a couple of weeks pass by and I haven't followed you, you're free to send me a reminder, or you can put it in the comment box below. I think it is absurd, absolutely ridiculous, that eBay would limit how many people we can follow. I see no justification in that whatsoever. If any of you have any theories, I'd love to hear them. Also, in a prior video, I had mentioned one of my friends, one of you guys, who made me a banner for my listings. Well, he has also made me a banner for my store. First, I would like to show you that banner right now. Okay, if any of you guys are interested in getting such a banner made for your particular store, you can contact Chris at powersellerdesigns@hotmail.com. He's the guy that made that, and I'm sure you'll find him very reasonable if you want him to make one for you. On August 20th, as I told you last week, eBay is set to make an announcement, a rather important announcement regarding the defect system. I have never seen so many unhappy eBay sellers since this defect system came into being. Even on the Facebook groups, that's what everybody is chatting about. You have no idea, guys, if you haven't seen this. I'm sure you haven't, but people are presenting their cases. to the group showing how unfair the defect system is to us sellers. You may remember I presented a case about a month ago where a guy opened a case, he didn't mean to, but he opened a case of item not received, even though the tracking showed it was received, and it was just a misunderstanding because his wife had accepted the package. He then responded by closing the case, leaving me great feedback, but yet eBay still zonged me with a defect, as they will to everyone. It's an unfair system, and like I said, everybody's presenting their horror stories, and eBay is supposed to address this August 20th. Let's hope they come out and do the right thing and make it right. I've been getting a lot of best offers lately, even though I don't have best offers enabled on my listings. The reason I don't use the best offer feature is because you cannot require immediate payment. Alright? If you can't require immediate payment, I'm not interested. You remember back in the old days, all the deadbeat bidders I used to get? Truthfully, back then I didn't take PayPal, and that accounted for a lot of it. Speaking of that, I had a freaky thing happen to me the other day. And I want to know if this happened to any of you guys, because this was a first for me in my eBay career. A guy sends me a personal message through eBay contacts and says, Joe, about 4 or 5 years ago, I won one of your auctions and I didn't pay you. And you went ahead and blocked me. The reason I didn't pay you was because you didn't take PayPal. I see you now take PayPal, and I want you to unblock me so I can buy your item. Now my question to you guys is, what would you do? Now, keep in mind, the first time around, I didn't take PayPal, but he didn't read the listing. You know that I'm always forthright about that. He didn't read the listing, he was wrong, and I blocked him. Now, just because I'm taking PayPal now, what difference does that make? That means he still may have not read the listing and understand what he's buying, how many he's buying. So I said to him, no sir. You violated eBay rules by committing to purchase and stiffing me. I said, you will not be unblocked. So what do you think the guy went and did? Anybody want to guess? He went and opened a second account immediately, like that, just to do a buy it now on my item and get that item. Now, if I'm correct, it is against eBay rules for anybody to start a new account when they are blocked from a particular seller. Did I dime him out or did I call eBay? No, I didn't. At this point, I have no plans. If he gives me any trouble, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I thought it was freaky. The guy asked me to unblock him. I said, no, I'm not going to. And then he goes and creates a brand new account just to get that item. And now you're probably saying, well, Joe, with all due respect, how do you know that it's the same guy? Couldn't it be somebody who just happened to bid on the item? No, because number one, I've got his name and address. And number two, the item he purchased is an extremely obscure item, a real dog that nobody buys. So, it's him. Again, I'm not concerned about it. I have no problem with it at this point. But if he causes me any problems down the road, then I would just call eBay and tell him he started the second account and circumvented their policies. My question is, has anything like that ever happened to you? If so, would you relate the story below? Because I love to read your stories. You guys have been complaining about international shipping like crazy, where you send an item overseas and the guy opens the case right away because he didn't get it soon enough. One of the problems is that the eBay time frame that they estimate when your buyer will get the item is not really correct. It's not credible. And that goes for even domestic shipping too. I've seen some estimated delivery dates that are just not true. And selling internationally is always a bit more riskier. Actually, it's a lot more riskier if you ask me. And I still do not ship internationally. Am I losing sales? Yes, I know I am, but I'm saving a lot of aggravation. Back in the old days, there were certain countries that had the nicest people, and one of them was Australia. Shipping to Australia is super expensive, often more than the item, but those people would pay right up, right away, and always leave me good feedback. You know? If I ever did consider shipping to Australia, I can tell you it would not be with the global shipping program. Not until they retool that bad boy, that's for sure. Somebody had asked me to do a video about PayPal chargebacks. I'm going on almost 2 years with PayPal. I've had really almost no problems. I had one chargeback in 2 years. And rather than go into all that now, I'd like to make a whole PayPal video in the near future, and we could address that and any other issues you guys want to talk about regarding PayPal. I've come up with two ideas. One idea is my own original, the other is an idea that I learned on Facebook. The idea I learned on Facebook, I'll tell you first. I'm sure in your kitchen or in your den, you have a desk with a drawer in it that you keep all kinds of collectible junk that you really want to sell, but it's just not worth listing one item because it's only worth $1 or $2. Well, what I'd like you guys to do is do a search on eBay and use the word God, is this Gatorade in here or am I drinking something else? Do a search on eBay using the words junk drawer, and you will see hundreds and hundreds of listings, and let me tell you, they sell quick. So what I suggest you guys do, if you have such a junk drawer or any group of material you don't want to break up individually, just list your item as junk drawer, followed by maybe a few keywords as to what you're selling, such as CDs, coins, you know, junk jewelry, whatever. And I tell you, that will sell. That will really sell. I checked into this and there's truth behind it. So that's my Facebook tip that I received and I'm passing on to you good folks. Now here's my idea. One thing we all complain about, and a lot of you guys moan about this, is returns. Where eBay, even if you don't take returns, eBay makes you take returns. And I feel your pain because I used to never take returns myself. The only reason I'm doing it now is to get the top rated seller discount. Otherwise I wouldn't be taking them either. But I've come up with an idea. It needs a little fine tuning. Maybe you guys could jump in with this. You know how eBay has many categories such as jewelry, you know, eBay Motors, toys and games, coins. Well, I suggest that eBay make a category called bargain basement or something like that, where the items listed would be a fraction of the price they normally are because they would probably be blemished in some way. And here's the key, there would be absolutely no returns in bargain basement category, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. Now, what problems could that cause? Well, first of all, the buyer would be protected in a way because let's just say I was selling this half full bottle of Gatorade and I write clearly in the auction, you are getting an open half full bottle of Gatorade of which half the contents was drunk by crazeenydriver. No returns. $1. Alright? Now, a buyer comes along and says, oh wow, a bottle of Gatorade, I want that. He does the buy it now, but then another screen would come down with all red lettering saying, warning, you are about to do a buy it now purchase or bid on an item that has no returns whatsoever. Please consider this before confirming your bid. And then there'd be two buttons. One that says bid, or buy it now, and one that says get me out of here. I changed my mind. That would protect the buyer from not reading, hopefully. Now, the only flaw with this I can think of is if there was an unscrupulous seller and he listed, let's just say, a junk drawer collection of coins. Something worth around maybe 40, 50 bucks, and he listed it for 20 bucks, and then he sends the person one coin. That's the only flaw I can think of with my little idea, and that's where you guys come in. Can any of you guys come up with some ideas to protect against unscrupulous sellers like that? Do you like my little bargain basement category idea? I think that's something that eBay really needs. Alright? A no returns category. Alright? As is, if it's scratched, if the color's all worn off it, if it's chipped, you know, it's a free-for-all. I mean, you'll be protecting the buyer because you got to make it explicit that no returns will be taken on this category. And for people like myself, top-rated sellers, we would be allowed to list in that category with no penalty. We would be able to list it with no returns in that category only and not hurt our top-rated seller status. I think that's fair to everyone. But what do you guys think? Alright? Any opinions on that? I'm sure there are. And I'm sure you have some opinions on some of the other topics I discussed earlier. You're free to discuss whatever you want below. If you need to PM me, guys, I know it's a pain in the neck with this new YouTube thing. If you need to PM me, you have to go to my channel. Alright? Click on my channel. Toward the right side, near the top, there's an About. Click on that. Then click on Send Message. Then once I get the message, I can reply to you in kind. For those of you guys who have received messages either from me or from one of your friends, you have to go to your inbox and you have to click on Messages. Then you read the message and there will be a reply button there. It's ponderous, guys, I'm telling you. I'm Crazy New York Driver. You're not. I hope I covered some of the points you were asking about. If not, type them below. We'll do them next week. Thanks for watching. You guys have helped make this channel the success that it is. Go out there and make it a good day. Rock on.